Hello, welcome back to Blend Sushi Live Noding. Today we'll be doing another explorations of SVerchok nodes. The one that I never use. It's actually called Wave Paint, Wave Pattern. So that's an interesting node, and if you are new to SVerchok, you probably don't know how to use this. So the way to check it out, you go under this panel, and then let me hide the notification first, and check the online help on or documentation. Wave Painter, it draws some kind of pattern that's looking like a wave, and this one has inputs, parameters. You can read it yourself, and there's this some of the examples, so you can basically kind of get this kind of rainbow pattern or wave pattern area that kind of show you the way to go to get a shortest path or something like that. But I just kind of curious, so let's see how this can be created. So I know we can start with a plane, and let's make it like 50 by 50,000 of points. I'm just gonna connect this and this, and I will have an output that's a B mesh. So this guy does not connect to this guy. We need to separate it. So the plane will be the output. Let's get rid of everything, and let's center this plane and save it. So this is a demo of wave. Oops. Okay, so this should be outputting some kind of colors. So we need a vertex color output, and it's gonna output this SVcol. If we select this objects, now it has vertex color called SVcol, and I will create a shader editor for this guy, create a material, and we're gonna plug in vertex color. Select from this menu into the emission. Okay, cool. Now we have green color because we haven't done anything yet. So apparently we can connect either wave front or wave distance. There's a start index, but that's something else. So let's use map range. If we actually just plug this in, it's not gonna work, and this is a float anyway. This one expecting a color data. Let's use a color, plug this in. Okay, we have color. If we plug in this wave, we still don't get anything because we don't have the initial mass and obstacle mass. Okay, initial mass. All right, that's also another thing. So like I said, this node is not the easiest node to work with, but it's very interesting. So select mesh element. We're gonna select it by radius, so that's the easiest one, center and radius, and plug this vertices mass. We're gonna be using the vertices, so we don't need obstacle mass for now. So it's doing something, but apparently the value is outside the range of 0 and 1, so we need to normalize it with map range. So now we have wave pattern, or yeah, it's like a stripes. It's not totally wave pattern, but get the idea. It's like a psychedelic spectrum color. So this one is something that we can play around with already. So in X and Y, so it's kind of stretching out. I don't think you should go too far out. Otherwise it's gonna crash or something. But just keep that in mind. And we can actually have multiple value. Let's say I'm gonna show you this input. We can have multiple vector lists. Okay, So 3 different value plug in. So there's one, and there's another one. So suddenly we have like a face or something, right? This has potential. I don't know what it is for, but you can also use something like circle. Plug this in, increase the radius, because circle is made up of multiple points, so you have this kind of interesting pattern. So see, you cannot go outside, it's gonna complain. You still have to have the radius inside. It's almost like a mandala or something. Okay, so that's another thing. But we also have this obstacle mask. What is that obstacle mask? That's actually kind of like a blocking thing. So you can have like obstacle here, and the wave actually kind of react to the obstacle or something. Let's try that. Select mesh element. This is actually something that I get from the example. Use the list input. There's 2 of them. Zero this out. Well, zero this out. Plug this in. Plug this in there. So I can increase the X and the Y, or the Y. So this is gonna create obstacles, and it's gonna react. Whatever we have here is gonna react. The radius, kind of when you, if I'm not wrong, if you drop a stone into a pond and there's this obstacles, and it should react to it. Okay, if it's a single value, it's probably more obvious. All right, you see what I did just now? The value goes outside, or there's some kind of calculation. I think the value goes inside the box, so it's actually crashing. So be careful with that. Yeah, there's a lot of different examples, like very interesting, that you can recreate yourself. Some of them really doesn't make sense for me, but can be useful. I just like the pattern itself. It's actually quite interesting. All right, so back to this guy. I'm not gonna do what I did just now, so don't put the points inside the box. It doesn't like it. But at least we can have this pattern. And this plane actually is quite interesting. I'm gonna show you one more thing. So these have a lot of lines, noodle. If you go to this tool, hold shift and right drag like that, you're gonna separate it into this thing, like a router, and then you can have a different input. Before I do that, you can use noise displays here also, which is quite interesting. So it's this, imagine you are displacing the original source, but what if you keep the same plane there? So you're gonna get this noise wave being disturbed by the noise, but the original plane is still flat. It's really cool, right? Very, very cool. You can even mirror it, but I'm not gonna do that. And you can also try using something like polygon grid. So let's unplug this. So vertices, edges, polygon. Vertices goes there, and we have this rainbowy color. pattern, but we don't want that. We want something that's more solid. So now we can have this, play with this circle and number of points. Now you have something that looks like a mandala. You can print this out, or it's like a carpet or like a t-shirt. Pretty cool. Increase the value even more. Let's try 50 by 50 and scale smaller. Try it with a really big resolutions and see what you're gonna get. So apparently this might crash Blender again, but you might get interesting pattern because this is using hexagonal. Yeah, but I think it's probably too hard to calculate. It's like exponential. But anyway, you got the idea. So this is the pattern wave that you can get. I'm not gonna wait. Give it a try. So with the nodes like Wave Painter, it's really quite interesting in itself. Not easy to use. However, once you understand it, you learn something. Oh yeah, you can actually use the neighboring vertices by edge or face, or neighboring face. Yeah, so maybe I will revisit this node in the future. But this one is the most interesting. You see, this is obstacles, and this is the kind of, if you drop stone into the pond, it's gonna ripple and it's gonna try to find the shortest path to get the path in, to get the path somewhere else, you know. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you find this interesting. Let me know if you have anything to add or to ask, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.